In this video, you'll learn about the major body cavities, subdivisions of each cavity, and the location of the major organs within each cavity. Body cavities are spaces within the body that are closed to the outside. The axial portion of the body has two large cavities, dorsal and ventral body. The dorsal body cavity can be subdivided into the cranial cavity, which contains the brain, and the vertebral cavity, which contains the spinal cord. The ventral body cavity can be subdivided into the thoracic cavity and the abdominopelvic cavity. Within the thoracic cavity are the left and right pleural cavities, which surround the lungs. Medial to the pleural cavities is the pericardial cavity within the mediastinum, which contains the heart. Just above the pericardial cavity is the superior portion of the mediastinum. The superior mediastinum contains the trachea and the esophagus, as well as many large blood vessels. The abdominal pelvic cavity is subdivided into the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity inferior to that. The diaphragm is a skeletal muscle that forms the boundary between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal pelvic cavity. The abdominal cavity contains the majority of the organs of the digestive system, including the stomach and the small intestine, and most of the large intestine, the liver, the pancreas. There are also many other organs within the abdominal cavity, such as the spleen, the kidneys, the adrenal gland. Within the pelvic cavity is the urinary bladder. In females, the uterus is found in the pelvic cavity. And in males, the prostate gland is found in the pelvic cavity. The abdominal pelvic cavity can be subdivided into 4 quadrants or 9 abdominopelvic regions. The 4 quadrants is relatively straightforward. You can see there's a right upper quadrant containing most of the liver and gallbladder. The left upper quadrant contains most of the stomach as well as the spleen. The right lower quadrant contains portions of the intestines, including the appendix and ceca, as well as the ascending colon. The left lower quadrant contains portions of the intestines, including the descending colon, sigmoid colon. There are also regions of the small intestine throughout the right and left lower quadrant. The urinary bladder is found in both the right and the left lower quadrants, prostate gland, and the uterus as well. For abdominal pelvic regions, there are right and left hypochondriac region that flank the epigastric region. The right hypochondriac region contains mostly the right lobe of the liver. The epigastric region contains mostly the gallbladder, as well as portions of the liver and stomach. The left hypochondriac region contains the spleen, as well as a portion of the stomach. Then the umbilical region is in the center of the abdominal pelvic cavity. It contains regions of the intestine, including the transverse colon, the duodenum, which is a region of the small intestine, and also other portions of the small intestine, which include the jejunum and ileum. Like the umbilical regions are the lumbar regions. The right lumbar region contains the ascending colon and the hepatic or right colic flexure. Left lumbar region contains the descending colon as well as the splenic or left colic flexure. Inferior to the umbilical region is the hypogastric region, which contains the urinary bladder. In men, it contains the prostate gland, and in females, it contains the uterus. The iliac regions flank the hypogastric region. The appendix is found on the border between the right iliac region and the hypogastric region. The cecum is a portion of the large intestine found in the right iliac region. The left iliac region contains the sigmoid colon,